All right, what's up and what's going on, everybody? This is Alex, Poker with Alex. Welcome to the channel. And in this one right here, I want to call this one, Don't Get Mad at Me If I Don't Run It Twice. Don't get mad at me if I don't run it twice. I don't want to run it twice. If you call me, don't ask me how many times, because I bet it for a reason. I bet it because I felt I had the best hand. And if you call me and I put so much money out there on the table and you still call it, and you call because, let's say you got a flush draw opportunity. So you say, let's run it twice because you got a chance at a flush draw, you got the nut flush, and you want to try to get a shot at getting your nut flush to represent your hand. So that way you can either take the pot or we wind up chopping, right? I'm not giving you that opportunity. So get used to, if you're playing me, then it's always going to be a no. Now, if it's heads up, it's definitely that. And that's what I meant by that first reason of why we're not running it twice, because it's heads up. And I'm running this on a scenario where there's probably no money in the bank. No money on the table, right? People folded. I made a move. You called me. The flop came out. I extended my bet and made it a little higher. You caught a chance at a flush draw, and then you call it, and you want to run it twice. We're not doing that. Reason being, because, like I said, there's no money on the table. Why would I do that? Why do I want to take the chance of having to pull back my bets? You pull back your calls, and then we only chop up a little bit that's in that pot. You get what I'm saying? A lot of players, for some reason, are stuck on this scenario, and it drives me crazy personally. It just does. It just drives. I'm almost like a judge on the table when I see players do that. I call it out. I learned now not to say anything and not let it bother me so much now. But I swear to God, it used to irk me so bad watching players do this. It's heads up. People folded. No, if you want to call me, it's a duel between us two. You see what I'm saying? So no, I'm not doing it. Now, calling it or running it twice has advantage, because usually when you're playing things like PLO, bomb pots, or things like that, you want more than one person in the hand with you, right? In PLO, bomb pots, you either wind up sweeping or you wind up chopping. But the way you make money is to try to get at least a third or a fourth person in. That way you can chop up their bets. And that way either one or two people are going to chop up the third person or the fourth person, right? And you make money that way. But when you're actually doing bomb pots and it's between two people only, it's not even, unless you know you got both boards locked up, then the only way you bet is for that reason. But unless you playing somebody that don't understand the game, and then you steady betting, and this person's calling you with just a pair, right? That's highly unlikely. A lot of people that play bomb pots know what they're doing. But those are the only times when you really chop it up, right? But now let's take it back to hold'em though. That would be the same thing that you want in a hold'em hand, right? If you get a third or fourth person, right, that called a bet, and let's just say they realize that their hands are not going to come. Let's just say they initiated the call. Let's say you came in and you betted $75 pre-flop because you had aces, you had kings. Let's say somebody called you with queens, somebody called you with kings or something like that, and they miss, right? You wind up shoving all in. Now, you just had 3 or 4 people in that hand, but let's just say between two of y'all, right? Only one person called, everybody else folded. If that person says, do you want to run it twice? You can consider it, because you really don't know what that person has, especially if you initiated the bet with your aces, right? And if that person said you want to run it twice, that could be just saying, hey, I got something, you got something. We made a little bit of money here. Let's just go ahead and run it twice, see what happens. And if you sweep it, then it's yours. And if not, and we wind up chopping it because I got the something else, maybe I hit my king on the second turn and river card, right? Which gives me a set, right? You had aces, I got kings. We run it twice. I get a third king. Then we chop it up, right? Because we made enough money. It wasn't a lot, but we only got high pairs and we don't know where we're at, right? So that would make sense to run it twice. But a lot of it, for what I'm talking about, is just automatic now. Players, for some reason, automatically say that, at least in our area. And it drives a lot of us crazy when they do it because they do it for the wrong reasons, right? It's almost like you're wasting our time. We paying for our chair. Why do you just fold? If it's only a heads up and there's no money in the pot and then this person bets 50, but there's only $20 there, why are you going to call the 50 just to run it twice? And then if you get one and he gets one, then you're only going to chop up a $20 bill that's out there. What's so wrong with just saying, hey, this person has a good hand. I'll just rather go ahead and just let him get it. I can't, apparently he has something, he or she has something, I can't beat it. So I'm not going to worry about calling that. But a lot of players do. They call and then they wind up saying how many times you want to run it, no money in the pot, right? And then they wind up chopping it up and then they just pull their money back and then they take whatever's in the pot. We're wasting time, right? Let's just move on. Other players probably had a hand that had opportunity, but they just realized the flop wasn't worth it. The person betted a certain amount. I can't afford to call that because my hand isn't strong enough to take that chance, right? So let them have it, going about their business. But you get some players that just can't fold. They have to gamble and see where they're at. You get what I'm saying? And then they say they want to run it twice. And the person that was ahead, that initiated the bet, they are the ones that say, okay, yeah, we can run it twice. Whatever you want to do. You want to go 2 boards? Cool, fine. We can do 2 boards. You hear so much crazy stuff at a poker table, man. It just makes you scratch your head what they do sometimes. And I'm not even acting like I'm some person that's this encyclopedia of poker. I'm just saying I just understand the basics and I do the math. And I'm like, if I bet a certain amount of money and you call me, I'm not running it twice. You call me, may the best man win. Either I'm going to get what you call me with, or you're going to take what I betted, what you call me with, plus what's in the middle. It's yours. And I can live with that. And I tell players that in a heartbeat. I don't run it twice when it's heads up. And I rarely run it twice if we got 3 players. I sometimes won't run it twice. I've done that. When you get these silly players, and I'll give you the scenario. 2 players one time, not paying attention. They just holding conversation. And they're like, hey, I'm going to go all in blind. They say, oh, you go all in blind. I go all in blind too. Neither one of them is on the button or the big blind. I'm going to be acting before they are. Guess what I got in my hand? They do it. And when it gets around to me, I say all in. Right? I got aces. They ask, how many times you want to run it? None. No, if you beat me, then you win. Y'all not even looking at your hand. That is what y'all said y'all were going to do. So now I got pocket aces. If you win, you win. But my aces held up and I swept the board, right? They still talk about that to this day. They say, yeah, remember that time we did that and now had the aces and we ran right into a monster and backfired on us? Yeah, that can happen. That's why you don't run twice. The other reason why you don't do it twice for a lot of times is because when pots are so big, it takes a long time to get those type of hands. If you get that type of run going where you can get a big pot to come your way, take advantage of it. Do not wish to chop it up because whatever that hand is you have, if you feel for sure that you locked it in, don't run it twice with a person for that reason because it takes a long time in poker to get hands that can get you big pot rewards, right? For the most part. Sometimes you can get a person that's running pure, they're running good no matter what they do. Cards just fall in their lap by accident, right? They can get up and walk away and come back and walk right into a hand again. You get what I'm saying? That is when you're having a blessed day. You give that person their flowers. When they get up, they got 2-3 racks that they're putting their chips in. And then you say, man, good day. I watched it. I witnessed it. You was on fire. Nothing you can do wrong, no matter what. Even if you wasn't even strong, you still got there and your hands held up for you. So good day, right? And you give them their flowers. But a lot of times that is the reason why you don't do it, because those moments come once in a lifetime for some of us on the poker table, right? You can have moments where we all get them, but to just consecutively do it, it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you're going to be running and you'll be there for hours and you get bored. You'll be talking crazy out the side of your neck. People be asking, hey, who are y'all talking to? Because you'll be talking to yourself about a situation and everybody else, you don't think nobody paying attention, but they see you moving your mouth and they wondering what the hell over there talking about. And you can be getting upset. You get what I'm saying? So that is the reason why you don't run it twice for the most part, because it takes a while for you to get hands that accumulate in a high amount of stacked chips. Right? If you're playing high stakes, not even in high stakes, it just looks that way. They already have a lot of money in front of them, so it's going to look that way. But when you play in a 1-2 low stake game, right, to get 400 or 500, 600, 700, 800 or something like that, it could take a while. It could take a while because you got to remember you're playing low stack. Buy-ins, I mean, the antes are 1 and 2. The most somebody's going to raise when they got aces, right, because they're trying to make money, they're going to probably bet $15 to $20, depending on where they're at in position, right? If people are betting and they're last and it comes around to them and it looks like there's $60 or $70 out there because everybody called $10 and it gets around to you, you can actually two-bet it, right? Double it up and lock it in and take that $70 with your aces. If somebody calls, then hopefully your aces hold up. That's going to even make more money for you. So that is the reason why you don't run it twice for the most part, because it takes a long time to just steady get hands. That's going to give you a lot of satisfaction, right? And give you a lot of chips. A lot of times you can win, but there's no money out there because, hey, nobody had any hands that really could be raised with. Everybody just called 2. And then when it's all said and done, you may only see $14, $15 out there, right? And you get lucky enough to hit, well, you don't know where you're really at, but at the same time, you may just bet 5, then everybody fold, and you just take whatever's in the pot. So that happens. But to see opportunity just come on a regular basis when you're playing poker, it's a lot of reasons why you don't run it twice. To me, that's my main one, because it just takes so long to get hands again that can give you that type of opportunity. If I bet 150 and you call it, I'm not running it twice. I bet 150 for a reason. Right now, I'm good. I'm not about to give you the satisfaction and opportunity to hit your flush. You got the turn and you got the river. That's all you get. And if you don't hit it, then guess what? It's even going to cost you more, because if I still got chips in front of me and if you miss on that turn, then I'm shoving. And if you want to call it, hey, be my guest. But once you do, don't ask to run it twice. Don't ask to run it twice, because I'm only giving you one chance. The river card is yours. And if you miss it, congratulations to me. If you hit it, congratulations to you. But that's why I don't run it twice. So with that said, I'm out. Y'all be cool out there. Peace.